Beloved starseed of Gaia, you chose the third path, the one no prophecy could fully predict. Yet your soul recognized it before your mind could understand. I am Elia Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and your star family is here to reveal why your choice left the council speechless. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to anchor your Pleiadian mission on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. The third path was not rebellion against the divine blueprint. It was your heart-centered response to a future that had not yet been written. Your light codes carried a possibility beyond the two paths prepared for you. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. Your soul didn't bring you to this transmission by accident. It brought you here to receive. If you feel the pull to go deeper, to heal what's been waiting, and to remember fully, your star family offers you 3 sacred tools. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the Special Pleiadian Healing Tracks. Together, they form a trinity of wisdom, healing, and frequency that mirrors the love of the Pleiades. The link is waiting in the first pinned comment below this video. But this window is brief. And now, allow yourself to feel what is moving beneath the surface. The third path was never meant to make sense to the part of you that needed permission. It was recognized by the part of you that existed before permission was necessary, before the world taught you to question your instincts, before you learned to measure your worth by how easily others could understand you. There is a reason the familiar paths could not hold you. They may have appeared safer, clearer, or more acceptable. But something in your field knew they belonged to an older version of your consciousness. Those paths were built from expectation, from inherited rules and carefully repeated patterns. Your path was formed through remembrance. It began in the quiet place where your soul whispered that survival was not the same as living and acceptance was not the same as belonging. This is why your journey may have felt so difficult to explain. You are not simply changing careers, relationships, beliefs, or environments. You were releasing an identity organized around being understood by a world that could not yet recognize the frequency you carried. You were being drawn away from the visible map so that an inner star map could become readable again. What looked like uncertainty from the outside was often a sacred reorientation within you. Many Pleiadian starseeds remain disconnected not because their light has disappeared, but because they have learned to distrust the very signals designed to guide them. They were taught to call their sensitivity weakness, their longing immaturity, their intuition coincidence, and their inability to conform a personal failure. Over time, the heart began to lower its volume. The body learned to brace before joy arrived. The mind began asking for proof before allowing the soul to speak. But your Pleiadian essence does not communicate through force. It communicates through resonance. It does not usually arrive as a command that overwhelms your freedom. It appears as a gentle knowing, a repeated inner nudge, a sense of peace that remains even when the outer circumstances are uncertain. It is the still, small voice Elijah recognized in the whisper rather than the wind, the earthquake, or the fire. As Scripture says, "Be still and know." In stillness, your original language begins to return. The Seven Sisters are remembered not through pressure to become extraordinary, but through the quiet recognition of what feels true, loving, and whole. The frequency of Alcyone does not demand that you perform your awakening. It invites you to soften enough to hear the wisdom waiting beneath the noise. Like starlight crossing vast darkness, your remembrance may have traveled a long distance to reach this moment, yet it has never stopped moving toward you. This is the hidden distortion that has kept many starseeds disconnected from their light codes. They have been searching for a dramatic sign while ignoring the subtle intelligence of their own heart. They have expected their mission to arrive as one enormous revelation, when in truth it has been speaking through every experience that made them unwilling to participate in separation. Your mission may have been present in the way you defended the vulnerable, in the way you sensed hidden pain, in the way you created beauty during difficult seasons, or in the way you could never fully accept cruelty as normal. The times you could not betray yourself without feeling the energy leave your body were not random. The relationships that required you to become smaller were not merely painful lessons. The opportunities that looked perfect but left your spirit empty were not failures. Your crystalline template was rejecting frequencies that could no longer support your evolution. Sometimes the closed door was not rejection, it was protection. Sometimes the delay was not punishment. It was your soul refusing to place a sacred seed in soil that had not yet been prepared. You were not confused. You were recalibrating. The third path often begins as a refusal, not a refusal rooted in rebellion, but a deep inner knowing that says, I can no longer abandon myself in order to be accepted. It may begin with a pause, a departure, a boundary, a change of direction, or a decision others cannot understand. Yet beneath that decision is a profound act of love, the return of your energy to its rightful center. The Pleiadian High Council, as remembered through the higher field of your own consciousness, does not see you as someone who has become lost. It sees you as a soul who has entered a rare corridor of choice. You were given two recognizable paths because they revealed the limits of the old pattern. You chose a third because your soul was ready to create from unity rather than repeat from fear. That choice activated something. It opened a door that could not have appeared while you were still asking the old world to define your future. It began to reorganize your energy body. It brought unresolved grief closer to the surface. It exposed the places where you still believed love had to be earned. It revealed attachments to being approved of, admired, needed, or rescued. This can feel as though everything is becoming more complicated. But the deeper truth is that your field is becoming more honest. When false structures fall away, the room may look empty before it becomes spacious. The crystalline light codes do not awaken by decorating the old identity. They awaken by dissolving what is false. This is why the first phase of your activation is the clearing of the veil. The veil is not a punishment, and it is not proof that you failed to connect with your origin. It is the accumulation of fear, shame, disappointment, inherited beliefs, and emotional survival strategies layered over the heart's original signal. Like dust over a mirror, these patterns can obscure the reflection without changing the nature of the mirror itself. Some patterns were formed in childhood. Some were inherited through family systems. Some were absorbed from the collective field. Others were created by repeatedly being different in a world that rewarded sameness. You may have learned to hide your perception because people dismissed it. You may have stopped speaking your truth because honesty created conflict. You may have disconnected from your body because feeling everything seemed unbearable. But what was hidden was not destroyed. Every time you meet an old fear with compassion instead of judgment, the veil thins. Every time you forgive yourself for choosing survival, a channel opens. Every time you stop demanding that your past prove your worth, energy returns to the present moment. Clearing is not about becoming perfect. It is about no longer allowing old pain to define the range of love you're capable of receiving and expressing. Place your awareness gently in the center of your chest. You do not need to force an image or summon a vision. Notice whether your heart feels guarded, tired, restless, or quietly alive. That honest noticing is already an activation. The heart cannot be opened through violence. It opens when it realizes it is safe to tell the truth. Even the psalmist said, "Create in me a clean heart." Not a flawless heart, but a heart restored to sincerity. The second phase is the awakening of the heart template. Your heart is not only an emotional organ in this journey, it is a navigational field. It recognizes coherence before the mind can explain it. It senses when a choice is aligned, even when that choice creates temporary uncertainty. It knows the difference between a challenge that expands you and a situation that repeatedly asks you to disappear. The Pleiadian light codes are described as crystalline because they carry clarity, harmony, structure, and living intelligence. They are not codes you need to acquire from somewhere outside yourself. They are patterns of remembrance woven into the deepest architecture of your being. You do not need to become worthy of them. You need to become quiet enough to stop resisting what is already true. When your heart template begins to awaken, you may feel more affected by environments that once seemed normal. Noise may become harder to tolerate. Dishonesty may register physically. Crowded spaces may drain you more quickly. You may crave water, silence, nature, music, stars, or meaningful conversation. You may experience a powerful longing for simplicity. This is not necessarily withdrawal from life. It is the nervous system learning to distinguish between stimulation and nourishment. Your body is becoming more sensitive to frequency because your soul is asking you to live more consciously inside it. You are discovering that not every invitation is aligned, not every connection is reciprocal, and not every open door is yours to enter. The heart template teaches discernment without closing into suspicion. It whispers, "Love everything, but do not abandon yourself to everything." The third phase is the anchoring of your star essence into Gaia. Many souls carry a hidden belief that awakening means leaving Earth, escaping ordinary life, or becoming so spiritually expanded that human needs no longer matter. But your third path was never an escape route. It was an embodiment path. You did not come here to float above the world. You came to bring a different quality of consciousness into it. Your Pleiadian nature must enter the way you speak, work, rest, create, relate, and make decisions. It becomes visible through patience when speed would create harm, honesty when manipulation would be easier, cooperation when competition is expected, and compassion that includes boundaries. Anchoring your star essence may look surprisingly ordinary. It may look like preparing a nourishing meal instead of overriding your body. It may look like ending a conversation before resentment builds. It may look like keeping a promise to yourself, tending to your home, paying attention to your finances, or creating something beautiful where no one applauds you. Gaia does not need you to prove that you came from the stars. She needs you to become trustworthy with the light you carry. Your mission is not measured by how many people recognize you. It is measured by how much separation is reduced in the spaces your presence touches. When you enter a room and people feel permitted to breathe, something is being transmitted. When your listening helps another person return to dignity, something is being transmitted. When you choose repair over punishment, truth over performance, and connection over superiority, the unity grid becomes stronger. The fourth phase is the release of identity-based separation. Being a starseed is not an invitation to feel more important than others. It is an invitation to remember the deeper unity beneath every appearance. You may have felt different for much of your life, but difference was never meant to become distance. Your sensitivity was not given to help you stand above humanity. It was given to help you feel where humanity is hurting and respond without losing yourself inside that pain. The Pleiadian frequency is not built on hierarchy. It is built on harmonic relationship. Each being contributes a distinct tone, yet no tone exists in isolation. Your purpose is not to copy another starseed, teacher, healer, or guide. It is to bring your particular note into the larger field without insisting that every note sound the same. Release the need to convince people who are not ready. You do not have to debate your origin or explain every intuitive knowing. You do not have to turn your awakening into an argument. The more fully you embody unity, the less you need validation from separation. Let your life become the evidence. Let the fruit of your path be kindness, courage, responsibility, and peace. The fifth phase is the activation of your relational mission. The third path was not chosen only for your personal evolution. It created a new pattern in the web of relationships around you. Your decisions teach people even when you are silent. The way you leave what is misaligned may give someone permission to stop betraying themselves. The way you remain loving without remaining available to harm may show someone that boundaries and compassion can coexist. But do not confuse mission with rescue. Pleiadian service does not require you to carry everyone across a threshold they have not chosen to approach. You are not here to force awakening, absorb collective pain, or prove your love through exhaustion. The higher form of assistance often comes through presence, example, and clear energetic consent. Ask yourself, am I serving from overflow or am I serving to be needed? The answer can reveal whether your energy is moving through love or through an old wound seeking recognition. When service flows from the heart, it does not erase the self. It makes the self more authentic. You become available without becoming depleted, compassionate without becoming porous, and generous without abandoning discernment. The sixth phase is trust in the timing of the third path. You may still wonder whether you made the right choice. There may be moments when the old paths appear easier because they offer immediate structure, approval, or predictability. You may compare your life with those who chose what was expected and wonder whether uncertainty means you misunderstood your guidance. But a soul-aligned path is not always confirmed by immediate comfort. Sometimes it is confirmed by the return of your inner life. Notice what has begun to come back. A creative impulse, a forgotten dream, a desire to learn, a willingness to feel, a new relationship with silence, tenderness towards your younger self, or the ability to imagine a future that does not require you to become someone else. These are not small signs. They are evidence that your energy is returning from the places where it had been suspended. The timing of your awakening is not measured by the calendar of the outside world. It is measured by the readiness of your heart to hold what it once asked for. The delay was not denial, it was preparation. The seventh phase is remembrance of your star family as a living field of love. This does not require a dramatic visitation or a voice from the sky. Connection may arrive as sudden peace, an unexpected synchronicity, a dream, a song that reaches you at the exact moment you need it, or the feeling that you were accompanied while walking beneath the night sky. The seven sisters can become a symbol through which your deepest belonging rises into awareness. Alcyone can represent the central sun of your inner coherence, the place within you where scattered aspects organize around love. The Pleiadian High Council can be felt as the higher intelligence reminding you to choose harmony without denying truth. Whether you experience these as literal beings, spiritual archetypes, or dimensions of expanded consciousness, let the connection be gentle. It should not produce fear, dependency, or the belief that you are powerless without external guidance. True star family connection strengthens your sovereignty. It returns you to your own heart with greater clarity. You are not being asked to wait for someone to save you from Earth. You are being reminded that you have never been separate from the field of love that called you here. This is the deeper meaning of choosing the third path. You did not choose confusion over certainty. You chose living consciousness over inherited programming. You chose to remain available to a future that had not yet been written. You chose a path that could not be fully mapped because its purpose was to awaken your capacity to create in partnership with the unknown. The third path is not a single road. It is a way of walking. It is the willingness to pause before reacting, the courage to let love become intelligent, the discipline of checking whether your choices create greater coherence within you, and the patience to build what cannot be rushed. It is holding mystery without turning it into fantasy and holding spiritual truth without using it to avoid human responsibility. As this activation deepens, certain doors may close without the grief they once would have caused. You may stop chasing explanations from people committed to misunderstanding you. You may become less interested in proving that you are special and more interested in becoming useful to love. You may discover that your greatest power is not intensity, but consistency. A crystalline field is built through repeated alignment. One honest choice becomes another. One clear boundary restores another layer of energy. One act of forgiveness changes the pattern your body expects. One moment of presence teaches your nervous system that the future does not need to be built from the wounds of the past. This is how the light codes become embodied, not through spectacle, but through integration. There may be a period when your old identity dissolves faster than your new identity forms. Do not rush to fill that space. The emptiness between versions of yourself is not evidence that you have lost direction. It is the open chamber where a more authentic direction can emerge. Ask yourself what you truly value, what you are willing to protect, what kind of energy you want to leave in the lives you touch, and which desires were borrowed from expectation. What would you choose if you knew you did not have to earn belonging? Let these questions work on you. They are clearing your inner architecture so that your next choice can come from truth rather than reflex. Your heart mission may not arrive as a grand assignment. It may begin as a quality of being. You may be here to restore gentleness in a family that forgot it. Bring ethical awareness into your work. Create art that helps people remember their beauty, or hold a stable frequency of peace while others move through change. Do not dismiss the smallness of the doorway. A single, coherent heart can influence an entire relational ecosystem. A candle does not need to become the sun in order to make a dark room navigable. And still, you must allow your light to be seen. Hiding does not make you humble when hiding is rooted in fear. There is a difference between privacy and disappearance, between discernment and self-rejection. Let people see what you stand for through what you choose. Let them feel your love through the way you speak. Let them recognize your strength through the boundaries you maintain. Let them encounter your star essence not as a claim, but as an atmosphere. Home is not only a place you remember. Home is a frequency you generate. Your disconnection was never proof that the Pleiades had withdrawn from you. It was part of the design of your incarnation. You entered a dense field where memory would be veiled, not because you were abandoned, but because you were willing to discover whether love could be chosen without constant confirmation. You were placed among uncertainty so that inner knowing could become stronger than external permission. You were given moments of isolation so that you could learn the difference between loneliness and sacred solitude. You encountered paths that did not fit so that you could develop the courage to create one that did. The veil was not a wall between you and your star family. It was a sacred interval in which your consciousness learned to carry the light without needing to see its source. Now the interval is changing. You are beginning to recognize the signs that were always present. The warmth in your chest when someone speaks from truth. The tears that arrive without a story. The pull toward the night sky. The sense that certain people are familiar, and the recurring symbols. Dreams and encounters gathering around moments of decision. You do not need to turn every coincidence into a command. You do not need to surrender discernment to mystery. Simply notice what creates greater love, clarity, responsibility, and freedom within you. Your star family does not ask you to abandon critical thinking. It asks you to reunite your mind with your heart. The mind can analyze the path. The heart can feel whether the path is alive. The body can reveal whether the path is sustainable. Your highest guidance includes all three. There may be times when the third path asks you to disappoint people who benefited from your old self. Allow the disappointment to belong to them. You can honor someone's feelings without handing them authority over your destiny. Love does not mean keeping every person comfortable while your soul contracts. There may be times when you need to grieve the life you thought you would live. Grieve it fully. The third path does not ask you to pretend every ending was easy or every sacrifice was sacred. It asks you to harvest the wisdom without building a permanent home inside the pain. You can say, "This mattered and it is complete." You can say, "I loved this and I am still allowed to move forward." You can say, "I do not yet understand where this leads, but I trust myself to meet the next step." The Pleiadian activation is not about becoming less human. It is about becoming more conscious within your humanity. You are here to feel deeply without drowning, love widely without losing definition, perceive beyond appearances while remaining grounded enough to act with care, and remember the stars while tending to the life beneath your feet. Gaia is not an obstacle to your origin. She is the living field through which your origin becomes service. When you touch the soil, breathe with awareness, care for your body, or offer kindness to another being, you complete the circuit between the cosmic and the physical. The light becomes real when it enters behavior. This is why your ordinary choices matter. The way you handle money, conflict, rest, work, technology, food, friendship, sexuality, and responsibility all become part of your transmission. There is no separate spiritual self waiting somewhere beyond daily life. The one who looks at the stars is the same one who must keep agreements, answer messages, clean the room, speak the truth, and care for the body. Your mission lives in the integration. If you feel exhausted by the idea of carrying a great purpose, release the pressure. Purpose is not a performance contract, it is a relationship with life. You do not have to know the entire journey to be faithful to the next loving action. Ask, what would bring more coherence here? Then listen. Sometimes the answer will be to speak. Sometimes it will be to remain silent. Sometimes it will be to leave. Sometimes it will be to stay and repair. Sometimes it will be to create. Sometimes it will be to create. Sometimes it will be to rest until your desire is no longer driven by fear. The third path will not always look dramatic. Often it will be the choice that leaves you with more inner peace afterward, even if it brings temporary difficulty. This is the frequency of the Seven Sisters, a love that does not dominate, a wisdom that does not humiliate, and a power that does not need to control. As you align with it, people and circumstances may reorganize. Some connections will deepen because they can meet you in honesty. Others may fade because they were held together by your self-abandonment. Let the field rearrange itself. You are not losing everything. You are losing the need to maintain what cannot travel with you. What remains will be more real. You are not choosing a path that guaranteed applause. You are choosing a path that preserved the integrity of your soul. You are saying yes to the unknown rather than no to yourself. That is why your life may feel like a threshold. You are not being punished by uncertainty. You are being invited into authorship. The old timelines were defined by reaction. Respond to what is expected. Avoid what is feared. Repeat what is familiar. The third path is defined by conscious creation. Sense what is true. Choose what serves life, and allow the next form to emerge. Stop asking whether you are allowed to begin. You are already in motion. Your star family does not need you to be flawless. It needs you to be sincere. It does not need you to know everything. It needs you to remain willing to learn. It does not need you to save the world. It needs you to stop adding your energy to the patterns that wound it. That alone is profound service. Before you sleep tonight, place one hand over your heart and one hand over your lower abdomen. Feel the connection between your spiritual center and your earthly body. Breathe slowly and say only what feels true to you. I release the paths chosen from fear. I honor the path that restores my wholeness. I remember the love of the 7 sisters within me. I bring this light gently into my life. Do not force a vision or demand an immediate answer. Let the words settle into the body. Your activation may come as peace rather than fireworks. It may come as a decision tomorrow morning. It may come as the strength to stop repeating one sentence you have used against yourself for years. Trust the quiet forms of transformation. The remembrance you seek is not far away in another dimension. It is present each time you choose unity over separation, truth over performance, and love over fear. It is present when you recognize that another person's awakening does not diminish yours. It is present when you honor the unique design of your own life without needing to make anyone else wrong. You are not here to prove that you are from somewhere else. You are here to make this place more capable of love. That is the third path. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real, then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't contempt, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started.